Now, when Donald Trump got elected, I was skeptical about his views of the TPP. During the campaign, he said over and over again that he was against the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It was a global trade deal. So in fact, you're gonna watch a video here the day after the election when Donald Trump has won. And here was a prediction that I made. Now, Trump folks, really, you think he's gonna be against TPP? No, here's what he's gonna do. He's gonna do the same exact thing Hillary Clinton would have done. Oh no, I'm against it. We're going to negotiate a better deal. Okay, guys, hey, everybody's all worked out. The corporations have decided to give me money for my next run. Okay, the deal's much better. Oh, see, I negotiated a better deal. Let's sign it right away, right away. Give away American sovereignty? Who cares? My sucker voters aren't going to pay attention anyway. I hope I'm wrong about it, but I doubt it. He will never deliver on that deal. He's more likely to deliver on the wall than he is to withdraw from TPP. No. He'll claim he made it better and then immediately sign it. Okay, let's break down the different ways that was right. Democrats right now are considering helping Donald Trump fund his wall, which is somewhat likely, unfortunately, right now. On the other hand, with TPP, you could argue, well, Cenk, he did get out of TPP until the Republican donors were very happy with the tax bill. They're giving money to Donald Trump at a record rate. Steve Wynn, now the disgraced Steve Wynn, held a fundraiser for Donald Trump in the middle of the budget showdown. You had to pay $100,000 to get a seat at that table. So those are the donors going, great job on the trillions of tax cuts that you gave to the very, very rich. So lo and behold, Donald Trump goes to Davos to meet the global financial elite, which he claimed he was against. And then we have a report out of the Hill. President Trump said Thursday he would consider re-entering the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade agreement if the terms were more favorable to the US. And then, as if he were channeling my prediction, adding, I would do TPP if we were able to make a substantially better deal. Almost exactly as predicted. Oh, TPP, it's fine now. I made it a better deal. Yeah, that's why I'm re-entering. Make checks payable to Donald Trump's next presidential run into the Republican Party now that he's part of the global financial elite. By the way, they had disdain for him because he'd gone bankrupt 6 times. He's a natural born loser, never could run a business. He got money from certain places. Well, we know both Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. have said that the Russians gave them a ton of money, but he was still an outcast. But now that he gets to attend Davos and have people like Steve Wynn throw fundraisers for him, he's ecstatic. Yeah, of course, TPP for everyone. My voters, they're a bunch of idiots that I scammed, like the guys I scammed at Trump University. Send the money, send the money. Well, the Hill says it's a surprising stance for Trump, who won the 2016 election on a promise to take a more protectionist stance on trade. Well, not surprising to some. Finally, again, the Hill reports Trump railed against the TPP as a candidate, announced the US would pull out of the agreement, one of his first acts as president. At the time, Trump said leaving the TPP is, quote, a great thing for the American worker. But now that he's got all the corporate cash in his coffers, all of a sudden Donald Trump thinks, no, re-entering TPP would now be a great thing for the American worker. It almost seems like he changes his opinion depending on who's paying him. I think I get to say, told you. If you want to get the whole Young Turks show every single day, become a member, tytnetwork.com/join. And once you do, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
Or you might say,
I think it's weird.
Or you might say,
oops.
No, that won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be great, trust me. tytnetwork.com/join.